checking the forecast, things looking crazy, a storm on the horizon, the pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls, we're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls, we're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see, prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities, we're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls, we're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. EMA, let's get this show on the road.
Let's do this thing, guys. Let's get this show to the curb here and get us going here. We're on the air for you 24/7 if need be. We've done it before. We'll do it again. We're on the air whenever you need us, guys. Whenever there's something big going on, we'll be on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. That's been our call sign. That's what this channel is all about. Emergencies and disasters and emergency planning and preparedness. That's what we're doing here today. Okay? First off, I want to talk about something that happened last night. One of our own family members, guys, Jin. Rob 52 is a very good friend of mine and a moderator on this channel, had his puppy dog die. This is Jin. She died last night. She's 17 years old. We paid tributes to Rob, his family, his wife, his daughters, and his daughter Jin here. He has one other pup at home that is 14 years old as well. Now, guys, I understand how important these animals are. They are our children. Carol and I have 2 dogs here as well. We paid tribute to Jin, how great a dog she was, and they had just put her down to sleep last night before they went to bed. And then all of a sudden she had some health issues. They took her to the vet and she had already passed on. Jin was 17 years old. Thank you, Jin, for all you did for Rob and his family. God bless you. God be with Rob and his family until we meet again with Jin. and all the rest of our children. God bless you guys. Now, something else I want to pay tribute to is Rob and Laura. Laura's a very dear friend of mine on this program. She sent us a card and a gift card here as well. This is the card that she sent us. She and John sent us. They are in Hawaii on the Big Island. Their granddaughter's high school graduation. Okay? Their daughter's granddaughter's high school graduation. That's the card they sent us. Okay? Here it says May 19th, 2026. Hi, Ron and Carol. This is our little cabin. Sending love from John and Laura. We show you this today. Thanks, John and Laura. Also, they sent us a gift card. A gift card here, guys. Yes, you can do that as well. We appreciate that. Anything you can do to help support our program, we greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much, John and Laura, for doing that for us. Now, guys, also, some other things are going on. I'm going to talk about the Chilean earthquake that happened yesterday evening in just about a minute. Give me a chance here, okay? Now, something else happened last night. Last night, an Indiana state trooper was shot. Indiana State Police said this incident happened shortly after midnight along Interstate 80 and 94 near the Illinois-Indiana state line in Hammond, Indiana. A state trooper stopped the vehicle for what was described as a minor traffic violation, but then the situation quickly escalated when the trooper called for emergency backup involving the driver and a passenger at gunpoint. Unreal. Responding deputies and officers arrived moments later, and police say an exchange of gunfire erupted between the suspect and law enforcement. The driver, a 34-year-old man from Gary, Indiana, was shot and killed at the scene. Indiana State Trooper, a canine officer, was also struck in the chest and rushed to the hospital before being transferred to the University of Chicago Medical Center for surgery. Thankfully, authorities say the trooper is now in stable condition. The police canine was not injured. A female passenger was taken into custody. Another powerful reminder here that there is no such thing as a routine traffic stop. There is no such thing as a routine traffic stop for America's law enforcement officers. Please keep this wounded trooper in your prayers and all involved in your prayers as well. Now, guys, why do I say all involved? The simple reason is this. Whenever any officer is involved in any kind of shooting or an incident even likened to it, they suffer trauma as well. I don't care what involvement they may have had. They suffer trauma as well. So please keep them in your prayers. Just about a week ago, on May 15th, we had Law Enforcement Memorial Day. We honored those law enforcement officers who gave their lives in the service to their communities and the service to our nation. May God bless their families. May God be with them until we all meet them again. Thank you for your service, gentlemen. Gentlemen, ladies, we appreciate greatly. Keep this officer in your prayers, and also the officers in the area that were there to support him. Keep them in your prayers as well. Now, I want to talk about tonight an earthquake that happened in Chile yesterday evening. Big earthquake. Big 6.9 earthquake. This came out as a 6.1 earthquake, guys. USGS over time upgraded this earthquake to a 6.9. But what I'm going to show you here in just about a minute, I'm going to show you that this may have been a large earthquake. This may have been a much larger earthquake. Okay? So far, we've had 48 aftershocks. 48 aftershocks ranging in size from 2.58 minor earthquake magnitude all the way up to and including 6.0 magnitude aftershock. Okay? Let's talk about this earthquake. Now, I'm going to take this down and I'm going to show you the USGS map here. Why am I going to do that? Because I want to explain what happened here last night. I'm going to take down our EMA banner here. I'm going to take down our webcam as well. As you can see, we had an earthquake here last night in Chile. Let's pull this over here so you can see it. Look what they're showing us here. They're showing us one earthquake and some of the aftershocks. Not all of them, but some of them. They're also showing us one other earthquake that happened here in northern Chile yesterday evening. Right here. This is a 6.9 supposed earthquake that happened last night. This was in the western side of the Andes Mountains. Western side of the Andes Mountains here. This is as far away from shoreline as you can possibly get to avoid any kind of tsunami. If an earthquake happens just right beside the shoreline, then it might be still a possibility of a tsunami. This is far enough away from the shoreline that there was no tsunami here at all. Not at all. But guys, let me show you something here. I want to show you the entire shoreline of South America here. This is important because of what I'm going to tell you now. Okay? The South American arc. The South American arc. You're seeing it here on this picture here on the slide. You're seeing the Nazca fault line, the Nazca plate, offshore from South America. The South American arc extends 7,000 kilometers from the Chilean margin triple junction to the south, offshore of southern Chile, to its intersection with the Panama fracture zone. Intersection with the Panama fracture zone to the north. Okay. Right now, I've extended this map out to show you the southern end of the South American tip, where the triple junction here is in the south here. Right there, they have a triple junction where 3 different fault zones come together right there. Then up to the north, right up here, they have a triple junction up here as well, just south offshore from Panama. Okay? This is important. What I'm going to tell you is important. I'm going to try to tell you why this earthquake hit. Okay? This marks the place, the plate boundary between the Nazca plate and the South American plate, where the oceanic crust and lithosphere of the Nazca plate begin their descent into the mantle directly beneath South America. The Nazca plate is subducting under the South American plate. Okay? The convergence here is associated with the subduction process. The subduction process is responsible for the uplift of the Andes Mountains. You cannot have volcanoes without subduction, and you cannot have subduction without volcanoes. Okay? The convergence is associated with the subduction process for the uplift of the Andes Mountains and for the active volcanic chain present along much of this deformation front here. Deformation front is the Andes Mountains that have been lifted up because of the subduction of the Nazca plate. Okay? The Nazca plate moves slightly north of eastwards at a rate varying from approximately 80 millimeters per year in the south to approximately 65 millimeters to the year in the north. Although the rate of subduction varies little along the entire arc, there are complex changes in the geological processes along the subduction zone. This dramatically influences the volcanic activity. The Nazca plate subduction directly influences volcanic activity here in South America. Crustal deformation. Crustal deformation here, guys. Now I'm going to bring up our webcam again here. I want to show you what I'm talking about when we talk about crustal deformation here. Crustal deformation. When the plate subducts under another plate just like this, it causes uplift. It causes uplift in that plate. In this case, the Nazca Plate is subducting under the South American Plate here. It's causing uplift of the Andes Mountains, isn't it? Causing uplift. Okay, let's go on here. Although the rate of subduction varies little along the entire arc, there are still complex changes in the geological processes along the subduction zone. This dramatically influences volcanic activity. It dramatically is showing an increase in the influence of volcanic activity. Crustal deformation, lifting up of the mountains. Earthquake generation like we saw yesterday, and we continue to see all up and down South America. The USGS is not even showing us. I'm going to bring up my device here and show you all kinds of earthquakes here in South America. Okay? These geological processes, crustal deformation equal earthquake generation, and they occur all along the western edge of the South American Plate. In other words, the Andes Mountain region, up and down south to north. Most of the large earthquakes occur in South America are constrained to a shallow depth of between 0 to 70 kilometers deep, resulting from both crustal and interplate deformation. Crustal and interplate deformation. Okay? Even the area right next to the shoreline can suffer deformation, meaning being deformed, being either destroyed or uplifted. Crustal earthquakes result from deformation of mountain building. Crustal earthquakes, like we saw on Monday evening, these result from deformation and mountain building in the overriding South American Plate. And they generate earthquakes. They generate earthquakes as deep as sometimes 50 kilometers deep, which is not very deep. The earthquake here in Chile, 6.9, 7.0 earthquake, I believe it was probably 7.5, was deep as 67 kilometers deep. 67 kilometers deep. Not very deep. Shallow earthquake, fairly shallow earthquake. Okay? Interplate earthquakes occur due to slip along the dipping interface between the Nazca and the South American Plate. Interplate earthquakes in this region are frequent. Often they are large. They occur between the depths of approximately 50, 60 kilometers deep. Since 1900, 126 years ago, numerous magnitude 8 or larger earthquakes have occurred on the subduction zone, followed by devastating tsunamis off the coast. That's because off the coast, seabeds dipped, seabeds dropped. That causes tsunamis. Seabeds drop cause tsunamis. The earthquake happened just offshore, causing a tsunami. This includes a 1969.5 magnitude earthquake that occurred in southern Chile, the largest instrumentally recorded earthquake in the world. 9.5 earthquake off of southern Chile. Other notable shallow earthquakes happen, generating earthquakes including the 1906 8.5 earthquake near Esmeraldas, Ecuador, the 1922 8.5 earthquake near Coquimbo, Chile, the 2001 8.4 Arequipa, Peru earthquake, 8.4 earthquake near Arequipa, Peru, 2001, the 2007 8.0 earthquake near Pisco, Peru, and the 2010 8.8 Mali earthquake, which is just north of the central part of Chile, just north of, what's it called? Just a second, I'll bring it here. I'll bring it up on the map. Valparaiso. Mali, Mali, Chile, just north of Valparaiso, Chile, down here in the central part of Chile here. Mali, Chile. Okay. Back in 2010, Mali, Chile had an 8.8 major earthquake. Okay. Just located north of the 1960 event. Large intermediate depth earthquakes, those occurring between the depths of approximately 70 kilometers to 300 kilometers deep, are relatively limited in size and spatial extent in South America. And they occur within the Nazca Plate as a result of internal deformation between the subducting plate and the overlying plate, the South American plate in this case. These earthquakes generally cluster between northern Chile and southwestern Bolivia. They generally cluster between northern Chile and southwestern Bolivia. That's what we've been seeing, guys. Lately, I've been pointing out a lot of earthquakes between the border of Chile and southern Bolivia. Lots of them. And to a lesser extent between northern Peru and southern Ecuador. We've seen plenty of earthquakes lately between northern Peru and southern Ecuador as well, but depths between 110 and 130 kilometers deep. These are still very shallow earthquakes. Most of these earthquakes occur adjacent to the bend in the coastline between Peru and Chile. Between Peru and Chile, as you see right there. Okay? That's where they happen. The most recent large earthquakes, large intermediate depth earthquakes occurred in this region was 2005 when we had a 7.8 earthquake in Tarapacá, Chile, in northern Chile. Tarapacá, Chile is up here, just south of Peru. Tarapacá, Chile is right there. Okay? Earthquakes can also be generated to depths greater than 600 kilometers deep, which is a very deep earthquake, as a result of continued internal deformation of the subducting Nazca Plate. Internal deformation of the subducting Nazca Plate, this plate down here. Deep focused earthquakes in South America are not observed from a depth range of approximately 300 to 500 kilometers deep. Instead, deep earthquakes in this region occur at depths of 500 to 650 kilometers deep. Those are very deep earthquakes. Guess what happens? What happens when we have deep subducting earthquakes? Deep earthquakes generate larger, shallower earthquakes. Deep earthquakes generate larger, shallower earthquakes. Okay? That's why we're talking about this. Yesterday evening's earthquake was a shallow quake. We got lucky. Or should I say, South America got lucky. Okay? In the past 7 years we've been on the air, we've had many deep earthquakes. We've also had very, very strong major earthquakes as well. One in Peru and one in Colombia. Two major earthquakes, one in Peru and one in Colombia. We're going to see more major earthquakes here. These earthquakes generally do not exhibit larger magnitudes. These earthquakes in this area generally don't assume or exhibit large magnitudes, but this one did. An exception was the 1994 Bolivian earthquake in northwestern Bolivia. Now, we had a pretty good sized earthquake in northwestern Bolivia recently. I think it was a 6.0. Now, the 8.2 earthquake occurred at a depth of 631 kilometers deep, which is deep. Deep earthquake. Okay? It was instrumentally recorded, superseded May 2013 by an 8.3 magnitude earthquake. 2013, 8.3 magnitude earthquake. 610 kilometers deep. Deep earthquake under the Sea of Tues. Under the Sea of Tues. We talked about this. Okay? Now, while we're talking about the Sea of Tues, During the past 6 months, we had an 8.2 earthquake. An 8.2 earthquake up here, right up here, where it was on the border of the Pacific Plate and the Sea of Obtuse Plate. The Obtuse Plate here is where the Pacific Plate is subducted under the Obtuse Plate here. That was a major earthquake. That was a very major earthquake. Okay? As you might remember, USGS called it a 7.88 quake. We said it was more like an 8.2, 8.3 earthquake. Okay? Where the Pacific Plate is subducting under the Obtuse Plate here. I've seen it happen before. It's going to happen again. Now, going back to South America yesterday evening, over here, this very large earthquake, this very dangerous 7.0 earthquake here, was huge. Now you can see they've taken it down. They've taken it down, guys. Go figure. That's okay. I have more evidence. I have more evidence as what happened. Now, guys, this was a very dangerous earthquake. They first put it out as a 6.1 earthquake. They ended up upgraded it to a 6.9. What I'm about to show you is going to blow your minds. It's going to blow your minds, guys. This was a much larger earthquake. You just see it on the USGS Seismic study page. They show this to be a 6.9 earthquake. Interesting. Let's scroll down here. Let's scroll down here and take a look at this. Okay. Yes, they have this listed as a 6.9 earthquake, but look here. In this case, they have two different earthquakes being two 6.9s. Two 6.9 earthquakes. Look closely at both of these. No station details reported. No station details contributed. Meaning that a 6.9 earthquake they don't want to admit to. They don't want to admit that it was a much larger earthquake. In the first case, they're showing 48 seismographs reporting this earthquake, but they're not showing any station details for any of those seismographs. The second one, they report 149 seismographs reporting, but no details from any of those seismographs. We scroll down here some more. Now we see a 6.8 earthquake, which it was not. This earthquake was not a 6.8 earthquake. Here they're showing it as 829 or 828 seismographs reporting it. There are actually nearly 900 seismographs here reporting it. I'm not going to show you all 900, however, but I'm going to show you a good representative from the seismographs that are reporting this earthquake. Let's scroll down again some more. Okay. Now I'm going to slightly enlarge this a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about here. Give me just a second. Over on the far left side, you're going to see the magnitude of this earthquake, as reported by the seismograph on the left-hand side. The first one, they reported as a 7.32 earthquake. 7.32 earthquake. This is 4 times as large as they said it was. They said it was a 6.9. This 7.32 is 4 times as large as they reported. Then they showed a 6.55, which this earthquake was not. Then they showed a 7.1, 7.33, 7.30, 6.8, 7.05, 7.12, 7.3, 7.23, 6.75. Again, this is not a 6.75 earthquake. They reported it as a 6.9. 7.23, 7.3, 6.73, 7.04, 7.27, 7.31, 7.42, 7.2, 7.29, 7.45, 6.34, 6.39, 7.22, 6.86, 6.48, 6.91, 6.46, 7.04, 6.53, 6.65, 6.05, 6.55, or 58, excuse me, 6.58, 6.83, 6.76, 6.95, 7.0, 6.56, 6.32, 6.54, 7.23, 7.28, 6.75, 7.01, 6.75, 7.01, 7.01, 7.02, 6.77, 6.86, 6.51, 7.11, 6.13. This is ridiculous. 6.74, 7.05, 6.87, 6.54, 6.39. This one is totally ridiculous. 4.92. Not even close. Nowhere close to that. 6.84, 6.65, 7.04, 6.76, 6.88, 6.59, 6.44, 6.75, 6.52, 6.68, 6.64, of the 6.64, 6.54, 5.79, 6.86, 6.59, 7.50, 6.53, 6.76, 6.16, 6.8, 6.47, 6.61, 7.11, 7.11, 6.58, 6.86, 6.14, 6.91, 5.93, 6.73, 6.79, 7.01, 6.77, 6.56, 6.63, 6.22, 6.55, 6.35, 7.01, 6.98, 6.74, 6.48, 7.1, 6.61, 6.81, 7.08, 6.79, 6.62, 6.83, 6.89, 6.55, 6.74, 6.24, 6.61, 6.73, 7.27, 7.04, 652, 649, 686, 662, 688, 684, 626, 694, 636, 6.76, 7.22, 7.17, 7.05, 7.72, 7.23, 6.46, 6.23, 5.97, that's stupid, 6.38, 6.65, 672, 638, 626, 7.07, 6.58, 6.88, 691, 7.5 again, 5.94, 6.1, 6.82, 666, 669, 680, 683, 687, 675, 677, 670, 6.01, 677, 685, 650, 675, 676, 624, 7.22, 6.73, 6.89, 6.25, 6.89, 6.98, 6.78, 6.45, 6.75, 688, 655, 695, 6.08, 6.79, 6.17, 679, 66 again, 65 or 75, that's 7.50, 6.4, 7.1, 7.24, 6.63, 6.57, 6.96, 5.96, 6.92, 6.35, 7.1, 6.75, 6.33, 7.08, 7.32, 7.23, 7.30, 6.27, 6.64, 7.1, 6.52, 6.43, 6.82, 6.65, 6.83, 6.76, 6.76, 6.74, 7.1, 6.26, and 7.63. 7.63 here, guys. They reported as a 6.9, but more than half of these entries here are nowhere close to even that. Nowhere close to that at all. Not at all. The problem with this is, guys, the problem with this is something is deeply wrong here with USGS. Something is deeply wrong here with USGS. They put it up as a 6.9 earthquake, but they don't back it up. They don't back it up at all. I believe after studying this since yesterday evening, after it happened, this is probably close to a 7.3 earthquake. This is probably not just a 6.9 very strong earthquake. This was a major 7.3 earthquake yesterday here in Chile. Yesterday here in Chile, guys. On the western side of the Andes Mountains. on the western side of the Andes Mountains. Now again, let's go back down here. I want to bring up USGS map here again and show you what's going on here, because it shows us here what has happened here. It shows us what happened here, guys. That's what we're getting to. That's what we're getting to here. Now, this was about 75 miles east of the coastline. 75 miles east of the coastline here. This did not generate a tsunami at all. Wasn't anywhere near the coast. This earthquake did not happen off the coast at all. In order for a tsunami to have happened, earthquake must have occurred off the coast. Must have occurred off the coast, guys. Now, this earthquake happened on the western side of the Andes Mountains, in the foothills of the Andes Mountains here. The foothills of the Andes Mountains. Now, as you can see, they've taken down the main shock. They've taken it down. This earthquake here, they've also taken, they're going to take down here. This is a 4.3 aftershock. They're about to take it down as well. Now, as I said before, we have earthquakes here, guys. We have earthquakes here. Lots and lots of them. USGS has already taken down the main shock. They're going to take down another one of the aftershocks. Guys, these aftershocks continue to happen. We're going to see aftershocks from this quake for a very long time. Anytime we have an earthquake of this magnitude, anytime we have a major earthquake of this magnitude, earthquake aftershocks are going to continue here for months and even years. Earthquakes that happen here, major earthquakes that happen here, have aftershocks for months and even years afterwards. That's what's going to happen here. Okay? Now, this is not the only earthquake that hit here. I want to make sure everybody understands that. This is not the only earthquake that happened here. Other earthquakes have also occurred around the world. This just happens to be one of the biggest earthquakes, okay? One of the biggest. Up here in northern Chile, to the north of that, Tarapacá, Chile. This is a 4.6 earthquake here. Tarapacá, Chile. 4.6 moderate earthquake here. Tarapacá, Chile. Just south of Peru. Just south of Peru. Now, they're not going to show you any of the earthquakes here in South America at all. They almost never do. Now, in just a minute, I'm going to show you more earthquakes here. All kinds of earthquakes here in South America. All kinds of them, guys. Just because USGS didn't show them doesn't mean they didn't happen. Does not mean they didn't happen. They're showing us 2 earthquakes over here in South America. 2. Guess what? Guess what? Down here in central Chile. Central Chile alone, we had 14 earthquakes here. 14 earthquakes here. South of central Chile, we also had a 3.6 earthquake here. 3.6 earthquake here. That is in Ronacama, Chile. Ronacama, Chile. Up here north, it says 50 plus earthquakes here. We had 50 plus earthquakes here. 48 aftershocks, guys. 48 aftershocks from that earthquake. 48 aftershocks. Look at here. There are 28 other earthquakes here as well. 28 other earthquakes here as well. So USGS only showed us 2 earthquakes. That's a drop in the bucket. That is an absolute drop in the bucket. Going down into southern Peru. This is a 3.6 earthquake here in southern Peru. Just south there is a 3.7 small earthquake. 2 small earthquakes here in southern Peru. Interesting. Then we come up here into Colombia and Venezuela. Meta, Colombia. 2.8 earthquake here. Okay. We go into northern Colombia here. Bucaramanga. Bucaramanga, 3.8 earthquake here. Just north of there, 2 earthquakes in Santander, Colombia. Santander, Colombia. 2.9, 3.0 earthquake there. One more here as well. This is a 3.3 earthquake here. Then we go north here into Venezuela. 3.1 and a 2.3. 3.1 and a 2.3 earthquake there. Going here also. Okay, I'm sorry. That was all. 2 earthquakes here in Venezuela. These other 4 earthquakes were over here in Colombia. Okay. As you can see, Panama had some earthquakes here. 5 earthquakes in Panama. 9 earthquakes in Costa Rica. 9 earthquakes in Costa Rica. El Salvador here. 7 earthquakes here in El Salvador. 3.29, 3.33, 2.42, 3.8, 3.04, and 3.24 here in El Salvador. Interesting. Interesting to note. USGS doesn't show us anything. Nothing. Not a thing. Look at all the earthquakes here in southern Mexico. 46 earthquakes here in South America, or southern Mexico. Southern Mexico. Down south in Oaxaca, Mexico, you see earthquakes down here. This is a 3.9, 4.0. There are 4.0s, 4.2s, and 4.3 earthquakes down here in southern Mexico. Going north, just south of Puerto Vallarta. This is a 3.3 earthquake here. Going south and east, 3.4. Right next to it, Guerrero, Mexico at 2.4. Actually, I'm sorry, 2.7. That was a 2.7. Punta de Agua, Jalisco, Mexico, a 2.9, 3.0 earthquake here. That's south of Puerto Vallarta. 46 earthquakes here in southern Mexico. 46 of them. USGS doesn't show one of them. Not one. Okay? Now, I want to go over here to Tonga. Here. Here we see 2 earthquakes here in Tonga. This is a 5.4 large earthquake. 5.4 large earthquake, 6.2 miles deep, 10 kilometers deep. Shell earthquake. Large shell earthquake here. Right next to it, another 5.0 earthquake here. This is 94 miles southwest of Hiifotonga. 5.0 large earthquake, 73 miles deep. Still a fairly shallow earthquake. This 5.4 was 6.2 miles deep. 112 miles northeast of Niafutonga. Niafutonga right here. This one right here, 5.0, 94 miles southwest of Hiifotonga. Right there. Okay. 94 miles southwest of Hiifotonga. Now, look at this. Tell me this, guys. Why did they show this earthquake 94 miles southwest of Hihifo, when this earthquake was closer to Niafutonga? And they have this as 112 miles northeast of Niafutonga. Both of these earthquakes are much closer to Niafu than they are Hihifo. Just saying. I'm just showing you this. Okay? Then we go further south over here into the Kermadec Islands. The Kermadec Islands here. In the Tonga Trench. This is the Tonga Trench here. This is a 5.3 earthquake here. 6.2 miles, 10 kilometers deep. The Kermadec Islands here are unoccupied islands. Uninhabited islands except for birds. The Kermadec Islands are a bird sanctuary here. Only a bird sanctuary. Only the birds were inconvenienced here when the shake can happen. I'm going to tell you this. Just because it happened in the Kermadec Islands doesn't mean that even the island shook. It's in the general direction of the Kermadec Islands. The general direction of the Kermadec Islands. This again does not mean it shook the islands necessarily, unless the earthquake hit the island itself. Birds may have felt this earthquake, that's all. That's all. They're not showing us any earthquakes even closer to New Zealand. Nothing anywhere close to New Zealand. Let me show you this. This is embarrassing, guys. This is very embarrassing. 35 earthquakes hit here in New Zealand. 35 earthquakes. USGS shows it 0. 0. Even further north, closer to the Kermadec Islands here, we have a 3.66 earthquake here. On the Fiji Trench here, going west of the Fiji Trench here, this is a 4.1 magnitude earthquake. 4.1 moderate earthquake here along the Fiji Trench here. The Fiji Trench here runs from Fiji all the way south here to the southern part of the South Island here. Okay? And all the way down here to the Antarctic Ridge. All the way down here to the Antarctic Ridge. Isn't that amazing? Over here, just in the catcher's mitt here. And the catcher's mitt here, in the Bay of Plenty, we call the Bay of Plenty the catcher's mitt because it looks like a catcher's mitt. Right here. These are mine earthquakes. These are mine earthquakes. Why am I even showing you this? Because I think it's important. I think it's important. We have people here in New Zealand that watch our program. This is Topol Lake. Topol Lake is a super volcano. Topol Lake is a super volcano, you guys. On the northeast side of Topol Volcano, we have a 3.25 earthquake. On the northeast rim of Topol Volcano, we have a 3.25 small earthquake. Interesting. Just south of the Topol Volcano, we have a 2.95 earthquake. Northwest of Topol Volcano here, we have a 2.72 earthquake here. Interesting, huh? Really is. This is a 3.1 here on the southwestern flank of Topol Volcano here. Unreal. Unreal. Around the volcano, guys. Around the volcano. Going over to the southwest. Urudi, New Zealand. 2.36 earthquake. South there we have a 2.4. Then we go down near the south shoreline of the Big Island, a 2.67 earthquake. 2.67 earthquake here on the southern side of the North Island. Then we go down here into the Cook Strait. The Cook Strait is a body of water here between the North and South Island here. The body of water between the North and South Island here. Over here on the west side of the Cook Strait, we have a 4.2 earthquake. 4.2 earthquake. Going further into the Cook Strait, going east, 3.66 earthquake here, small earthquake. Further into the Cook Strait, 2.35 earthquake. We've come in from water 4.2 to a small earthquake and then a minor earthquake here. We're not done yet. Just a little bit northeast from there, we have another 2.36 earthquake there. And over here along the shoreline of the North Island here, we have a 2.22 earthquake. Sorry. A 2.22 earthquake there. Then right over here between the tip of the both islands here, right between the tip of these islands here, this is a 2.25 earthquake. 2.25 minor earthquake. Minor earthquakes cannot be felt by normal people. Only very sensitive people might feel a minor earthquake. 2.25 earthquake here in the Cook Strait between the North and South Island here, New Zealand. Then we go into the north side of the South Island. This is a 2.37 earthquake. 2.37. Over here to the west, a 2.26 earthquake here. Interesting, huh? Again, USGS not going to show them to us, are they? Not at all. Then I want to go further to the south here. Again, this is on the Tonga Trench here. On the Tonga Trench. 2.28 minor earthquake. Further south along the same trench, 2.65 earthquake. Further south, a 2.59 minor earthquake. Then further to the southeast here, this is almost a first. This is almost a first right here. This is the first 2.77 or minor earthquake that I've seen here on the east side of the South Island. In the past 7+ years I've been on the air, this is the first time I see any kind of earthquake over here on the east side of the South Island. Again, USGS not even reporting it. 3 more earthquakes to talk about here. 3 more earthquakes here to talk about. First off, right here. Right there. We have a 2.70 earthquake. 2.77 minor, 2.70 minor earthquake on the Tonga Trench. On the Tonga Trench. Further south here on the trench, along the trench, 2.82 earthquake here, and a 2.33 earthquake here. I want to show you this. This is important. We have seismic energy flowing down the Tonga Trench here, all the way down here to the Antarctic Ridge here. To the Antarctic Ridge here. Okay. One more earthquake to talk about over here in Fiji first. Fiji earthquake here. 4.90 5.0 earthquake. 4.9 5.0 large earthquake here. This is a large earthquake. 132 miles east-northeast of Lubuka, Fiji here. North-northeast of Lubuka, Fiji here. Okay. Interesting, huh? Then I want to take you over to Papua New Guinea. Papua, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea here. We have no earthquakes to report in Vanuatu or the Solomon Islands here. None, virtually nothing. Over here in Papua New Guinea, virtually nothing here except over here to the northwest. Right here to the northwest. Technically, this is in Papua New Guinea. 3.1 small earthquake here. The European agency has this as in Papua, Indonesia. It's along the border there. Along the border. Up on the north side here. Up on the north side on the earthquake fault. Again, this is the edge of the plate. This is the edge of the tectonic plate here. 2 earthquakes here. 2.7 and 2.90 earthquake here. On the edge of the plate here. Nobody even felt these earthquakes, guys. They're too small. Too small. Then technically, we go over here to Papua, Indonesia. We have a 3.1 small earthquake there. 3.1 small earthquake. Then we go north here, a 3.5 small earthquake there. Okay. We go over into Papua, Indonesia here. We have a 3.4 and 2.6 earthquake here. USGS not showing us anything there at all. USGS is showing us one earthquake here in central Indonesia here. 4.1 earthquake here. 149 miles. This is almost ridiculous. 149 miles west-southwest of Ambon, Indonesia. I'm here to tell you guys, this is almost ridiculous. Actually, it is ridiculous. Because over here in Java, they're only showing us one earthquake here. This is also a 4.9, 5.0 large earthquake here. Off the southern coast of Java, Indonesia here. Off the southern coast of Java, Indonesia here, guys. Guess what? Guess what? 49 earthquakes here in Indonesia today. 49. They show us 2. Only 2. Even going up here into northern Sumatra. Here's a 4.92 here in northern Sumatra. They're not showing this. .72. They're showing us a 4.5. Okay, 4.5. Further south, a 2.70 minor earthquake. So their 4.5 could have been a 4.7 that the Europeans are showing us up here. Europeans say it's a 4.7, USGS saying 4.5. It's interesting, but no cigar. No cigar. All these earthquakes here in Indonesia, they show us 2. It's insane, guys. This is totally insane. Let's go over here into the Philippines here. See this big island here in the Philippines? This is called Mindanao Island. Off the southern shore of Mindanao Island here is a 3.8 small earthquake. Nobody felt this earthquake. Too small, number one. Second, it's out in the ocean. The ocean waters absorb the shockwaves of this small quake. One other earthquake here as well. Along the coastline of Mindanao, Philippines. This is a moderate earthquake here. Moderate 4.0 earthquake here. Still offshore. Still offshore. This earthquake happens to be 18 miles offshore. 18 miles offshore. Nobody felt this one either. Okay? Now, we go north. Off the northeast side of Mindanao, Philippines, along the Philippine Fault. Along that same Philippine Fault I'm showing you here. This is a 3.1 earthquake here. On the edge of the plate here. The Philippine Fault is the edge of the plate here. Okay? Central Philippines. Central Philippines here, guys. This time right here. This is the 3.2 earthquake here. 3.2 earthquake here. 4 miles east of Biri. 4 miles east of Biri, Philippines. Biri, Philippines. Right there. Biri, Philippines, right there. Okay? Then we go to the northern island of the Philippines. The northern island of the Philippines. This is Luzon, Philippines. The western shore of Luzon, Philippines here. Guess what? Yes, we have an earthquake along the shoreline. Along the shoreline here, guys. But this earthquake hold on a second. I'm trying to find you the city here, guys. Bear with me for just a second. This earthquake actually hit a city here. Okay, I'm having trouble finding it on the USGS map. I'm having a hard time finding it on the USGS map, but it's right in this area here. This is a moderate 4.0 earthquake. Moderate 4.0 earthquake near Aveyah City, Philippines. They felt this earthquake. Moderate earthquakes cause moderate damage. They knock books and knickknacks off of shelves. They knock wall hangings off of walls. If your cupboards are not secured, the cupboard doors in your cupboards are not secured, they can rattle dishes in your cupboards, plates and glasses in your cupboards. If those plates and glasses and dishes rattle so much, they might fall out of the cupboards as well. Moderate earthquakes could cause moderate damage, especially in this side of the world. They may cause major damage here. 4.0 moderate earthquake here in Aveyah City, Philippines. Aveyah City, Luzon, Philippines here. 4.0 earthquake here. Okay, they happen. Now, right between Luzon, Philippines here, and also Taiwan here. Right between Taiwan and Luzon, Philippines here, we have a 3.3 earthquake here. 3.3 small earthquake here, out in the ocean here. The ocean waters here absorbed the shock waves of this small earthquake. Nobody felt it at all. Nobody felt this 3.0 earthquake here at all here in the East China Sea. Nobody felt it at all. Okay. Now, we can go over here to Southeast Asia. USGS don't show us anything going on. They show us nothing going on here. Nothing going on here at all. They're showing us one earthquake here. 4.5 earthquake near Myanmar. Burma here. They don't call it Burma here anymore, they call it Myanmar. This is a 4.5 earthquake. There are all kinds of earthquakes here. If you remember late September last year, we had a 7.4 earthquake hit here. 7.4 major earthquake hit here. Major damage here in Myanmar. Major damage all the way down in the southern Thailand. All kinds of damage. I just showed you a 3.6 earthquake here. 3.6. 1.7 in Taiwan. Tremor here in Taiwan. Over here to the west, 1.9 Myanmar. Tremor. Tremor, guys. This is a 2.7 minor earthquake here. 2.7 minor earthquake. This is a 3.1 small earthquake. Again, these are in Myanmar area. Up to the north, the border of China and Myanmar. 3.7 earthquake. They're not showing anything going on here at all. Nothing. Not a thing. Going over here on the other side of this fault line. To the other side of this fault line, on the east side, or west side here, right here. You can see the fault line here, guys, the mountain range. This is a 4.5 earthquake here. Moderate earthquake, Myanmar. Right next to it, another 4.5 earthquake. And going north, on the north side of that, is a 3.5 earthquake. 3.5 earthquake. We go into Bangladesh. 3.60 in Bangladesh. Interesting. USGS shows us zip. Not a thing. Not a thing. Go over here to the Himalaya Mountains here. Himalaya Mountains here. The mountains between India and China. Nepal. India. China. A 2.4 earthquake here. Why is this important? Again, this is the edge of the tectonic plate here. This is the edge of the tectonic plate here. Himalaya Mountains, guys. Himalaya Mountains. Why do we have earthquakes here? These earthquakes come out of Indonesia here. Again, the edge of the plate, the tectonic plate. Tectonic plate runs over here through the Indian Ocean, south of Java, south of Sumatra, going up here in the Indian Ocean over here to Burma, Myanmar area, going up here into the Himalaya Mountains. Himalaya Mountains here, we have earthquakes. Now, USGS didn't have it shown, but we have earthquakes here nonetheless. 2.4 minor earthquake. We have another earthquake here as well. Okay? Another earthquake right here. This is a 4.6 here in Pakistan. 4.6 here in Pakistan. However, the European agency shows it to be a 4.9 5.0. 4.9 5.0 here in Pakistan. Okay? That's a huge difference. Between a 4.6 and a 4.9 5.0 is a huge difference. Yes, USGS does downgrade earthquakes. They do it all the time. North of there, USGS here in Afghanistan is not showing anything at all. This is a 3.9 4.0 here in Afghanistan. South of there on the edge of the plate here. The edge of the plate comes out of the Himalaya Mountains and dips down to the south here. Baghlan, Afghanistan, 4.7 earthquake there. See how the mountains go further to the south here? They go down further to the south and down here in southern Iran. All over this area. All throughout this area here. Now, the northern part of Iran is also Up here where you see Uzbekistan area here, this is also the edge of the plate up here. This is the edge of the plate here. Edge of the Russian plate here. It goes through the Caspian Sea here. Goes through the Caspian Sea over here into the Black Sea here and into Turkey. Again, they're not showing any earthquakes here, but there are earthquakes there. All over here. All over here. Here you see the Turkey-Syria border region. USGS not showing one earthquake. Guess what? 42 earthquakes here in the Turkey-Syria border region. 42. All of these earthquakes are aftershocks of a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that hit here in the Turkey-Syria border region February 3rd, 2023. February 3rd, 2023, 9.0, 10.0 earthquake hit here. Injuring over 5,000 people and unaliving over 5,000 more. USGS didn't want to take responsibility for anything, do they? Not at all. I have real issues. Now, while we're talking about Iran here, apparently Iran has come to an agreement with US and Israel and all of the other border states here in the Middle East. They come to an agreement. We have representatives from Iran coming to New York, via New York over to Camp David tomorrow. From Iran to Camp David tomorrow. Northern Maryland tomorrow. Northern Maryland tomorrow. Why are they coming? Because apparently we're going to sign an agreement. We're going to sign an agreement here. President Trump is going to sign an agreement with Iran and all the other border states here in the Middle East. It's going to be a major signing here. Major agreement here in the Middle East. Okay? Let me briefly take down the USGS map here. Let me take it down here. Everybody's going over to Camp David. Camp David. As you can see, Camp David is a retreat for the President of the United States. Presidents don't usually go here all the time. President Trump usually goes to Florida or one of the other major golf resorts throughout the world. But tomorrow they're headed for Camp David. Now, why is this important? Why is it important? Let me show you. There's been a NOTAM issued. NOTAM are flight messages issued to pilots of planes in the area. This NOTAM was issued for planes in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Washington, and even going up into Maryland, where Camp David is. Camp David is Northern Maryland. Flight restriction. Presidential level flight restrictions are now in place over Camp David on Wednesday morning, starting Wednesday morning. But it's not just that. Look at this, guys. Multiple NOTAM messages here. Multiple NOTAM messages here. Let me blow this up for you, okay? Issue date yesterday. Thurman, Maryland, where Camp David is. May 27th, tomorrow. 1400 UTC. 1830 UTC. Temporary flight restrictions, nobody can even get near there. VIP movement. VIP movement, guys. Affected areas, Frederick VOR, DME. Those are airports in the region. 30 nautical miles in any direction. Altitude up to 17,999 feet, 18,000 feet. May 27th, 1400, 10 a.m. EDT, 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time to 18:30 UTC time, 14:30 to 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow. Area B, Frederick VOR DME FTK, longitude 77 north, 28 degrees west, 10 nautical miles in any direction, from the surface up to 18,000 feet. No flight going. No flights going. These are temporary flight restrictions in that area. President Trump is supposed to be in en route to Camp David early in the morning. Early in the morning for a possible signing of an agreement between the U.S., Iran, and the other Gulf states in the Middle East. This is going to be a historic agreement between all Gulf states. That means Qatar, Bahrain, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, the Arab Emirates, Iran, and Israel. Major state agreement, guys. Major state agreement in that region. That means for the first time in history, there may be peace in the Middle East for a good long time. They're going to sign the Abraham Accords. They're going to sign the Abraham Accords here at Camp David. Camp David, guys. That's a big deal. That's a huge deal. Now, guys, I ended with this because I want you to know what's going on. Number one. Number two, I want you to be praying for peace. I want everybody to be praying for peace in the Middle East and pray that President Trump can indeed get these leaders to adopt the Abraham Accords. No more fighting anywhere. The major sticking point was the Strait of Hormuz, and also that Iran would turn over their enriched uranium that they have in the desert over there in Iran. Apparently, they're going to do that under the auspices of the military. Now, before they did that last night, Iran attacked our Navy boats in the Gulf. Iran attacked our Navy ships in the Gulf. That didn't get them that very far at all. Their ships got sunk. They were laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. All those mine-laying ships are now at the bottom of the Gulf. All the other fast boats that they put out last night are also bobbing along the bottom of the Gulf of Persian Gulf. Bobbing along the bottom of the Gulf of the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz. Bobbing. What happened? Let me give you an inkling what also went on. Let me take these pictures down and put up the slide of the USGS map again. I want to show you what's happening here. This is the Strait of Hormuz right here. Okay. Last night, Iran launched missiles at United States ships or forming a blockade to try to peacefully allow other ships to go through the Gulf of Hormuz. Bandar Abbas here in Iran is no more. When Bandar Abbas, Iranian Revolutionary Guard opened fire on our ships, we struck out Bandar Abbas. The US ships struck Bandar Abbas heavily, hugely, guys. Bandar Abbas is no more. Yes, some people may still live there, but as a port city here in Iran, and as a place where Iran would attack U.S. ships or any other ocean-going ships, that capacity has now completely been eliminated. Also, over here, we have some major islands here in Iran. Major islands that had some oil refineries going. Guess what? They also attacked us here, from here. U.S. ships took them out. U.S. ships took them out. Gone. Gone, guys. Yes, there supposedly is still a ceasefire here. But again, Iran violated the ceasefire. Maybe they did it just as a go, see what we do. Last hurrah. Their last hurrah went down in flames. Their last hurrah went down in flames. They can't do it again. It's over. It's over. So tonight, I fully expect to hear from President Trump. I fully expect to hear from our news media reporting that these emissaries from these Gulf states are going to be en route to the United States, landing in New York, JFK tomorrow. Then they're escorted over to Camp David tomorrow morning. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay? Now, as I've told you before, I don't hold much faith in Iran at all. But it's very possible he may have had just not a ceasefire, or Iran has still gone and dumped bombs on Bahrain and Saudi Arabia and on U.S. ships as well. They weren't successful. They never hit a U.S. ship yet. Okay? But the U.S. retaliated and eliminated any threats to the United States. They eliminated threats to the United States, and they are no more. We'll see what happens with Iran in the morning. Guys, when we pray for peace, we hope we get peace. We hope we get peace. Now, guys, we have to have faith. We have to have faith. One thing I learned about faith is something to be hoped for. Faith is also evidence of things not seen. Faith is something to be hoped for, but evidence of things not seen. Now, Jesus Christ and his apostles established churches in their areas where they were. The churches are there, according to Acts chapter 16, verse 5, said that churches were established in faith and increased number daily. Why am I bringing that up? All of us need to increase our faith. All of us need to increase our faith. As it says in John chapter 16, nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you. Jesus Christ sent us the Comforter, the Holy Ghost, to help us, to help us develop our faith in Jesus Christ, develop a testimony of Jesus Christ, thereby help us to understand who Jesus Christ is, to help us to find a way back to Him after we leave this earthly existence. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and night. May God be with our leaders of our countries. We may find peace in our lives. We may find peace and harmony in our lives, our families, and our nations together. God bless you. God be with you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side, everybody. Good night. Have a sweet dream. Until we meet again. God be with you until we meet again. See you on the other side, guys. Good night.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. Complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright. We're always learning, always striving to be better. Bring you the most up-to-date information, no matter the weather. Associates is here for you now and forever, it's true. Keep watching, keep learning, because we truly appreciate all that you do. Thank you.